What is going on, guys? Once again, Social Banter Podcast here, and as always, with the one and only, my right hand, my queen, my everything, Melissa Cruz. How you doing, baby?
Hey, guys. Doing great today.
All right, so let's get the shout-outs out of the way real quick and give it the shout-outs to our sponsor. Shout out. Sorry.
Not shout-outs.
What do we got to thank, baby?
We've got to thank HK Floor Recoding.
HK Floor Recording. Recording. Jesus, I can't even speak.
I know. Legendary Tattoos, Legendary Screen Printing, and Legendary LTD. And guys, do not forget to go check out all the tattoo apparel that Legendary LTD has on their website. They've got some killer designs, and if you use our promo code, apparel. Tattoo Inspired Apparel, and if you use our promo code SB30, you get 30% off of your purchase.
What?
Yep. Some really cool tattoo designs that they've made into apparel, onto shirts. Really cool stuff. So you want to check them out.
Also, make sure to check out The Magician. We've been talking about him so much, and we're going to keep going. Raul Sanchez Photography, and anything that you need with photography and videography, he's there for you. So check him out. IG is at @Raul Sanchez, and his website is .raulsanchez.net. All right, so make sure to check him out. Also, we got Graphics Plus Design by Danny MacArthur. Danny, thank you so much for that awesome logo of Social Banter Podcast. It's amazing, and I can't wait to see it on the shirts that Legendary Screen Printing is making for us. So shout out to them as well. And last but not least, Congruo.com for all your business needs. If you need a business mentor, a business coach, he will be there. Anything to grow your business. He's done it for us, and we keep growing day by day. Let's keep going, guys. All right. So I'm pretty static here, and let's try this again because we were trying to record earlier, and I didn't even hit the record button because I was so excited.
He was too excited.
Yeah.
He got way ahead of himself. Too excited.
So give it up for Luis Alicea, man. How you doing, brother?
Great, brother. Great to be here.
Thank you, man. Thank you for taking from your family and from, your busy work schedule.
They'll be all right.
We won't keep you too long.
I know.
They'll be all right.
Because I've been hearing all about this great family, the kids. We've been chatting along the way. So,
all right. Well, let's get right into the nitty gritty, dude. I really want to start with your resume because I know you have an A list that it's mind blowing, dude. I love it, dude. So what you got?
I've been blessed, man. Playing with people from around the world, around the country. I mean, just insane. Guys like legendary Finance All-Star members, Richie Ray and Bobby Cruz, which is a big one, especially for the Spanish community. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
I play for the legendary guitar player, Al Di Meola. And a lot of people have seen me lately with that band. Gumby Ortiz, which everybody knows, who's been the percussionist for Al Di Meola for the past 30 years.
Shout out to Gumby. Hopefully we can get him in the podcast very soon as well.
And so with that, I've, shared stages with Steve Vai. We've played together and shared stages also with Stanley Jordan, guys like that, who've pretty much set a high standard of playing. And to be able to share a stage with those guys has been really cool, man. And then, as you heard at the beginning of the podcast, the Alan Carmen Project, which includes legendary guys like Philippe Zace.
Oh, nice.
Those are dudes that have been doing the jazz scene forever. Andy Snitzer, Rolling Stones, the Harris Brothers.
Oh, man, that's sick.
Nile Rodgers. Stones, baby.
That's sick.
So, I'm on a lot of things, man, and been blessed to be playing with a great cast of guys.
That's badass, man.
And so I know you're Puerto Rican.
Yes.
As well as Danny. But you were not born in Puerto Rico.
No.
Never born in Puerto Rico. You were raised in Puerto Rico. So
nope.
Where were you born and raised?
Jersey City, New Jersey. Born and raised.
Ooh, buddy, another Jerseyan.
That's right.
Is that what you guys are called, Jerseyans?
I don't know.
I don't know.
But
yeah, she's from Jersey
Jersey
too.
Shore. What do they call it? The Goombas?
The Goombas.
Those are different though. That's a whole different species. So how did you start in Jersey? How did you start music over there?
Well, born and raised in a musical family. Everybody in my family plays. So my dad's a guitar player, and we were born and raised in church. My grandfather was a minister. So usually when you talk to a lot of musicians...
What kind of church, can I ask? Is it Christian, Catholic?
Christian church. And when you talk to guys who were born and raised in church and play in church, it's like this thing where if you went to church, you got to experiment different backgrounds of people singing, people that can sing, people that can't sing.
Oh yeah, the chorus is something else.
Yeah, it gets to be a karaoke for a while.
Yeah. So you're like, and that atmosphere really preps you for other things, because it's not like it is now where, I play at Grace Family Church where everything is very organized. Things are written out.
Right.
You got charts. You got this.
So you play with Mike Gibilisco then, with Jibby?
Well, he was when he was.
Oh, yeah? That's
Mike
awesome.
Now moved to, I think, is North Carolina.
Gotcha. Oh, that's right. Well, shout out to Jibby, man. We miss you guys.
He's a great dude and
great sax player.
Oh,
too.
dude,
awesome sax player.
Bad boy.
Yeah.
So so. Now it's a little bit more organized. Before, it wasn't that way.
Right.
Oh, here we're going to have whoever going to sing this song. And everybody's like, we got to follow. And I grew up that way. So I developed an ear of how to follow things and how to really be creative with my instrument. But as long as I can remember, I've been playing since I was 5 years old.
And what did you start playing? Was it the drums, right?
Yeah, drums.
Okay.
From the get-go.
And then you went
But was it actual, actual drum set?
Yeah,
or,
drum set.
okay,
No,
because I started with hand percussion.
No, I started with drum. And the thing was, I didn't even reach the pedals.
Oh.
So my uncle would sit me on his lap and he would play the bass drum and hi-hat and I would play just the top.
Oh,
and that's how
my
it
God,
was
that's
for
cool.
a while.
See, babe, that's how you can teach me.
No, she's learning.
She has tried.
I tried.
And she actually gets the 4/4 down. She gets a straight 4/4 down.
After a few minutes of trying, I finally get the coordination.
There you go. Yeah.
Once she actually starts listening to the metronome.
It's definitely easier to teach a younger child because they're still learning their flexibility and mobility. Versus trying to teach somebody older, they're already, it's like, my concept is, how you take your key and you put it in the ignition of the car, or you take the spoon and you don't watch the spoon, you just put it in your mouth and eat. Mm-hmm. That coordination takes time.
Muscle memory.
Yeah. So that's muscle memory. So when you do that often, like I can teach my kids now how to do something now.
Oh yeah.
Because they're still learning and they're still growing. Once you're older, that doesn't come as easy. You got to work.
Can't teach an old dog.
Oh, you can.
Dog new
yeah, you can. But it takes a lot longer.
You talk about the car.
Yeah.
Listen, you talk about the car situation, like the analogy you just used. So my car is the push button.
Yeah, so is mine. Yeah.
Okay, and I got a rental car for 3 weeks, which was a key.
Were you looking for a button?
Bro. We both were.
Then, not only that, when I got my car back, it took me another week to remember I don't have to put the key in. I just have to press the button.
The fob.
Exactly. Where does this thing go?
Oh man, I'm telling you, it's age. It's okay.
I know.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm with
Exactly.
It happens.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you were you grew up in Jersey, and right off the bat, what was your first concert that you were talking about?
Oh, dude. My first experience with a live crowd besides church and all that stuff was when I got into high school. It was the opening of the World Cup, 1994, with Liza Minnelli.
Oh, dude.
At Giant Stadium.
At the Giant Stadium.
I mean, we only did one song.
Liza Minnelli.
But it doesn't matter.
Come on.
It was like, and at the time I was like, who the hell is Liza Minnelli?
Exactly.
I was only like,
but you're like, wait, 80,000 people? Holy crap.
Judy Garland's daughter, the Wizard of Oz daughter.
Yeah,
oh my God, Dorothy's daughter.
That didn't even come to mind. That came prior to mind to my dad.
Yeah.
What did your dad say when he found out?
Well, I mean, my dad knew that when I came out of grammar school over there, you go to 8th grade and then you go into high school, 9th grade. Well, I lived in Jersey City, and I couldn't go. The only high school there in the district for me was Snyder.
Okay.
And he didn't want me going there, not because it was a bad school, but he knew that Bayonne had a music program.
Oh, okay.
So he wanted me to go to Bayonne. So my uncle who lived in Bayonne, he took custody of me so I can get an address to go to Bayonne.
Exactly. That makes sense.
So then that's what I was doing. And then my first 3 years of high school was at Bayonne High School, which is a performing arts school. So he knew that it was going to take me in a whole nother level.
Right.
And here's the thing, that when I got to high school, you know that movie Drumline?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's my
He's
story.
maybe watched it 100 times.
But that's my story.
Oh yeah.
When I got to high school and I went to the marching band, my first day of high school, I walk into my class, in this music class, and I remember Doc Watson. I don't know if you know this company called Chop Horns.
Yep.
Well, Chop Horns is my director of music director for freshman year was Doc Watson.
No shit.
So
wow.
So Doc, when he sees me, he says, "Louis, you're a freshman." Yeah. It's like, okay, well, grab an xylophone or something. I'm like, the hell is this?
What?
I'm like, I don't know how to play this crap. And he's like, well, what do you play? I said, I'm a drummer. He goes, well, this is a marching band and freshmen don't start on the drum line.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh, what am I supposed to do here then? So he goes, look, all I can tell you is come back tonight. They have auditions for the drum line. Ooh. And I'm like, okay. So my dad brings me back tonight and I meet Joe Riker, and Joe Riker is he's the instructor for the drum line for the school, but he's also he was the instructor and he played for the Bergen County Cadets.
Oh wow,
Bergen County, yes. See, I know that.
Oh
okay.
wow,
he was in the big leagues.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm looking at this guy.
That's big names.
I don't know nothing about anything. I'm telling you, I don't know nothing. All I know how to play is 2 and 4 on a drum.
Yeah.
So he goes, do you read music? I'm like, no. So they put a snare in front of me. They give me sticks. He goes, okay, mimic this. I mimic it. Mimic this. I mimic it. He does it again. No problem. He goes, now play all 3 at the same time. Yeah. No problem. He goes, okay. So he tells one of the guys, or another sophomore, he goes, Danny, take Louis downstairs, show him the first 2 pages of the first song. I'll give you an hour. I came back upstairs. I had the first 2 songs.
Wow. In an hour, 2 songs, not just the first one.
Because remember, I'm a kid I didn't read, and everything for me was I had to retain it because
you had to compensate.
When I played with my dad's band, dude, I was 8, 9 years old by ear, and we had rehearsals for 10, 12 hours.
Wow.
So I knew how to retain stuff because my dad was like, we can play the song from beginning to end. We mess up the end, guess what? We're going right back to the beginning until we play it straight a couple of times.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So that's how I grew up. That's my discipline. Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm playing the parts, and Joe's like, hey man, you're good to go. We'll keep you. You're in the drum line. Next day comes in. Doc is like, all right, everybody grab your stuff. We're going to go to the first song of the first segment of this tune. I grab my drum, and Doc's like, Louis, did you come yesterday to the tryouts? And then Danny's like, hey, he's good, bro.
Don't even worry about it, bro.
So I was the first freshman to ever make the drum line.
That's insane, bro. Congratulations.
At that level. And that's my story. I didn't read. So I had to memorize everything. And then on top of that, I had to memorize steps because there was a marching band.
Right.
So they did like these figure eights and these crazy things. So it was really good
and
for me.
And they're 2 different steps because you're doing your steps and you're doing your drumming. And you had to count.
So like every beat was a count on legs.
Exactly.
And so you had to memorize, okay, there's 40 steps that way, but there's only 38 beats in this.
Exactly.
There's a lot of math. And I became really good at it. And then I started getting more into the reading part with Serge. And then Doc left, and then we got another guy named Serge Paczynski. He came in, and he was like, Louis, I want to teach you how to read. So that lasted.
So they all called you Louis.
Yeah, so that actually led, instead of Luis.
Yeah.
So that led for about junior year, they found out I wasn't living in Bayonne.
Oh,
so
no.
Then they kicked me out of the school.
Oh.
So I ended up going to Snyder, which was, heaven sent, because then I got to meet Cliff Reiner, who was a saxophone player. He was the director of music there, but he was a saxophone player for Lou Ross.
Oh, shit. Wow.
So when I got to Snyder, I walk into the band room, and Snyder is 95% black school.
Yeah.
So guess what? 3 and 5 guys play piano.
Exactly.
So when I walk downstairs,
they
got 3 organ players in the band. They got a bass player. They got a horn section. No drummer.
What?
No drummer.
So here came the drummer, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they're all playing, and I didn't say nothing. I was like, whatever. And all of a sudden, Reiner goes, oh, we got a new student. Louis, what do you play? I was like, I'm a drummer. He goes, you sure? He looked at me. Reiner was like, he was smoking in the classroom.
Exactly. Back in the day,
smoking in the classroom, and he's like, get on the kit, man. And the first tune we played was Another Star.
Oh, shit.
And we came off, and I'm like, okay, I never heard the tune. And when they go, it's kind of Latin feel they play the record for me, and I'm like, I got it, bro. I start playing. All of them boys were like, they looked at me like I just came out of another planet.
Yeah.
Rhino was like, we have a drummer. We have a drummer.
They couldn't believe it.
He goes, what year are you in? I was like, I'm a junior. He goes, damn it, only for a year and a half. He was so pissed off. So it was one of those things where he was happy at the same time. He was mad.
Yeah.
Because I was only going to be there for a year. But, and those little things like that. And I got to meet Reiner. And then I never got to play with Lou Ross, but I've gotten to play with, I've gotten to see Reiner with Lou Ross in Jersey.
Wow. Okay.
With that band. He was trying to get me into that band. And then Reiner got sick and he passed away. So I never got to actually play with the guys that he was around with.
Yeah.
And then that was high school. And then once I got out of high school, it was like, I got opportunities for other guys. Like, growing up in church, you weren't allowed to play outside of church.
Exactly.
We were that strict. And I had got an opportunity from a friend of mine, and I was already coming out of high school, and he was a year behind me, Dwayne Nesmith. And Dwayne goes, yo, man, this band's looking for a drummer. Let's do it. Come on, man. You'll be perfect fit. And I'm like, nah, bro. I don't know what. It's not a Christian act.
Yeah,
no, man. These 4 guys that are just.
It's the forbidden word.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, little did I know, what I was passing up was an opportunity to play for Jagged Edge.
Oh man!
Wow.
That's just
wow.
So,
and how old were you at that time?
I was about 16.
So you're still in high school?
Yeah, I was still in high school.
Okay.
So 16, 17. So then I tell myself, I said,
you probably would have been one of the
Dwayne right now is
the
one
youngest
of the
in the circuit.
Yeah,
he's one of the biggest producers in that market. And I still stay in touch with him. The guys, he's been great.
But at that time, you would have probably been the youngest kid on the greenest kid in the circuit.
Yeah, the circuit. Yeah,
that's intense.
I would have. Because I'm a little older than Tony Royster, and Tony Royster started young as well too.
Wow.
And that's another guy. But my thing was that I told myself never again would I pass up an opportunity if it came to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I only passed up one more opportunity, which when I first got here, after meeting Goombi, and Goombi, he tells me, he goes one day, he goes, hey man, I was looking for a drummer. It was like 2009. Mm-hmm. He's looking for a drummer. And I go, you know what? Sorry, it was about 2011. And I go, Goombi, I'm not ready for that. And I told myself, really? I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready because when I saw some of the music, I'm like, I'm not ready for that. I just got so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And Goombi, being the brain that he is, he starts a band called Electric Rendezvous.
Ah, yeah, buddy.
And Electric Rendezvous was a tribute to 70s rock and fusion music.
Yep.
Playing all the chick stuff, playing Al stuff.
It's all your shit. Yeah, dude.
So we spent a year doing that. So then all of a sudden Al becomes this thing like, I want to go back on tour again with the electric band. He hires an electric band, but he gets Philippe Sace, Joel Taylor, Armand Sabaleco. These are high-end, these are like high-end names. But after about 6 months, he couldn't pay that bill anymore.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess expensive real quick, bro.
So then he goes, I got the band. And then the thing is that people think that just because Goombi said, he told Al, hey, Al, I got guys, use them.
Right.
We went through me and Elias Toner went through a rigorous 3 days.
Wow. Of audition and
audition.
I bet that was rough.
It was rough. Like,
and nothing's going to get handed to you. You got to pay your dues.
Nothing rougher than packing up your drums, driving to Miami, setting up over there, rehearsing 5-6 hours, then driving back to Tampa, then driving back to Miami.
Oh, jeez.
The next day, and we did that for 3 days straight.
Wow.
And then not knowing until finally I told Al, I said, you know what, man, maybe we're not ready for you. And we're not what you're looking for.
Right. Exactly.
So
exactly.
Let's just take it at that, and thank you for the opportunity, and it was good.
Yeah.
When I get the call coming back from Miami right to Tampa, he goes, hey man, Louis, you're good, bro. Everything's good. I'll see you in 2 weeks in Cali. I'm like, okay.
Oh.
Okay, so let's back up just a second here, because what made you come to Florida in the first place?
Well,
and how old were you when you came here?
When I got here, I was 26, and I was in a part of my life. My mom and my dad had got divorced in 1997. They split up in 97. So I was just, I
You
just
were
graduated.
18 or so, because I was about to say,
graduated high school.
I graduated in 97 too, so
Yeah.
I completely get that. Okay.
So
I know the age.
They split up, and I was having a hard time because my mom was one of those that didn't work. Mm-hmm. My dad just wanted my mom at home, take care of the kids. We were a big family.
Yeah.
So that kind of devastated the family at the same time. So from 1997 to 2002, I was just taking care of everybody, making sure that everybody's good. All my sisters got married.
How many sisters and brothers you have?
I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters from
so
my
there's
mom.
5 of you.
And then my dad's got 3 from his new marriage, so we're 7.
Okay.
So now,
and they're all younger than, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the oldest. So now I had to take care of my family, take care of my mom. My mom started working. I meet my wife in 2003.
Okay.
And my wife's family decides to move to Florida. And I'm like, okay, well, peace.
Exactly.
I'm not leaving here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've only been going out for a year now. Your parents decide to go. It's like, okay, that's fine.
That's crazy.
And I don't know.
So is she younger than you then?
She's younger than me by 5 years.
Okay, so I was just trying to figure out that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
why she'd have to go with them if
and she was in school.
Yeah.
And she was in college already.
Mm-hmm.
But were her parents actually making her move?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So she wanted to move.
But it's like, where's she going to stay? Because she had no other family
Exactly.
here. So she's like, I said, look, I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. Just go with your parents. I'm not going to tell you no. Those are your parents. Little did I know that it was just like, hey, I just got this thing where things weren't falling into place with me here and back home.
Jersey.
And I started losing jobs. I started losing this. I started losing that. I'm like, maybe it is time for a move.
Start
Exactly.
over. Yeah.
You
start.
Reset.
My mom is set. She's good. My brothers are good. Everybody's fine. So I said, you know what? The only thing I can think of, I don't have family in Tampa. Where am I going to go? Her parents, her mom is hard.
Yeah.
She's hard. You can stay with us until you find a place.
So they were moving to the Tampa Bay area?
Yeah, they moved to Tampa Bay, and I'm like, I can stay with you until I find a place. So that's what I did. I ended up staying with my wife's parents for about 6 months. I met other musicians, and then I moved in with a friend of mine, and he's like, bro, I got a room, stay there. And then I was moving from job. Every time I met somebody, I would stay in that place. I would meet somebody else that gave me a better job, and I was working. I wasn't even playing music yet. I was just working, trying to get my foot wet.
Right.
Finally, I started working at a payroll company.
And you two were still dating.
And we were still dating.
Okay.
We didn't get married till 2009. Okay. No, sorry, 2007. 2007, we got married. 2009, I had my daughter. And I meet this guy, and he goes, bro, I got an apartment with a room for rent. And we work together. We can come and work together.
That's awesome.
I'm like, okay, so I did that for a year. And then all of a sudden, 2007 comes up, and I'm marrying my wife, and I get an interview for another job with a medical company that was, booming.
Yeah.
And bro, it's from there. It was history with work, but then that's when all the calls, when people started knowing that I was playing. Mm. And that's when I told myself, I'm not going to
pass up that opportunity.
I'm not going to pass up opportunities anymore. And I started grabbing the local gigs here, local gigs there.
Yeah.
And I started getting familiarized with the area of Tampa.
With the circuit, yeah.
When I came to see it, I was playing full time, working full time.
Still for the medical company.
Yeah, I was. And when I got the call, when Al finally gave us the call, I was still working with the medical company. So I've been a full-time musician since 2015.
Gotcha.
Like full-time.
Wow.
No other
Nothing
word,
else.
just full-time.
That's amazing.
And
That's an accomplishment.
The owner of the company, he's a musician. And he's a big Al Di Meola freak.
Oh, man.
So in the medical company.
In the company. So when I got called, what his story was, Mark's story, which shout out to Mark Roberts, those guys, they would let me leave and go on tour. When he found out I was going on tour with Di Meola, he was like, dude, really? I was like, yeah, man, but Di Meola was only going a month at a time and then not going out again. And it was sporadic.
Yeah.
So he goes, bro, go. Don't use your vacation time. Just go. You take it on pay because you're getting paid there and you come back.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like,
that's amazing.
I can't believe this.
You got blessed.
I did that for 2 years.
Yeah.
Going on and off. When I'm on the last show, 2016, I'm on the last show for Di Meola and for that run, and I get a call. And the call was a friend of Goombi's, because I didn't know him yet, and it was Mike Scaglione. And Mike Scaglione, Tampa native.
Yep.
I mean, guy played for everybody, and he did a ton of years with Gloria Estefan, Man Sound Machine.
That's right.
So then Goombi's like, hey man, I just got a call. And out of all days, the call that comes in, our road manager decides to quit.
Oh shit.
And I'm driving the bus back to Connecticut. So I'm driving the bus, with the guys in the band, and Goomba's like, we got to pull over and you got to take a call. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, you got to take this call.
Yeah, like, pull over, bro.
And I'm like, okay. So I go and I go, hey, who's this? I'm like, this is Mike Scaglione. I'm the musical director for Julio Iglesias. And we need a drummer for the next run that we have. And I'm like, huh?
But this is, Julio. This is not the
OG.
kid.
This is the OG.
Yeah.
Like, that is amazing.
I'm like, wait a minute. Who? When do I audition? And he goes, no, there's no audition.
Oh.
I'm giving
You're already in.
And I'm like, oh, when are rehearsals? No rehearsals. The show's going. We've been already 6 months in.
Yeah.
Wow.
We don't have a drummer for the next year.
Wow.
And so Melissa and people that are not completely musically inclined understand, for a run, what you call a run.
Yeah.
How many tracks are you talking about that you got to play?
Well, with Julio, which I didn't know, it became 40-something tracks.
So those are 40-something songs that you got to learn right away.
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. Before you go on tour with Julio Iglesias, playing how many, what is it, arenas?
Bro, we were doing all arenas. It was all an arena tour.
And that was for a year?
It was an arena tour. So
and now you were already married at this time.
Yeah, I had married. I was ready with my kids. So
2 of them though.
I had my youngest. My youngest was born on my last run with Dimiola.
Oh, okay.
So
that time was just
well, not my youngest, my middle. My middle was born.
Yeah, so the 2 of them, the girl and the boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were born. So my thing was that when I left, I didn't know. Like even with Al's stuff, the music with Al was maybe like 13, 14 songs deep. Mm-hmm. But remember, his compositions are long, so it takes up a lot of time. And then he has that middle section in the middle where it's all acoustic.
Yep.
So we could fill up Julio's is 2 hours show straight.
Straight to no break.
There's no intermission.
Oh,
it's 2 hours
buddy.
straight. And when he's feeding off the crowd, that 2 hours can turn into 2.5, 2:45. Right. Easy.
And how long did you have to prepare? 2 weeks?
I had 2 weeks to learn. And not only that to learn. The music wasn't the hard part. The music was fairly easy because remember, he does a lot of covers in Spanish.
Right.
Exactly.
So I'm like, okay, I remember my first show and nobody told me this. I show up on my first show, sit on the drum set, and I got this big old black box with a bunch of buttons. I'm like, the hell is that? And it's a ground control.
Yep.
You had to control it all.
To cue the Digico lady
Yep.
and to cue the computers. And I see the list that I have with a bunch of numbers. And I'm like, I never got those numbers. I thought the number sequence was all out of order. I thought, 45 just means that's the 45 track. But I didn't pay attention to that. And I'm like, all of a sudden Julio, he comes out and he's cueing the songs. He goes, I want to hear the tracks first. And then because certain songs have certain things that he wanted to hear first in the house. And when he named the song, I'm like, I'll punch this number. So he turns around after the third song. He goes, Oye, Gordito.
Oh,
like
hey,
goes,
fat boy.
I give you a week. I give you a week to learn that list with numbers. And I'm like, man, I didn't know nothing about no list with numbers. But okay.
Okay, boss.
Bro.
But he also asked you about your background.
Yeah.
And where you were from.
He goes, that story, he goes, so where you from? I'm like, I'm from Jersey. No, but where you from? Jersey City. And he goes, no, estúpido. Where's your parents from? I said, Manhattan. He goes, he's very vulgar.
Yeah.
He's like, estúpido, coño. Where's your background from? I said, Puerto Rico. He goes, you're Puerto Rican. I said, I'm from Jersey.
He ain't Puerto Rican. He's Jersey.
So he had that with me. So it was a fun thing with him, but he demands a big respect on stage. The guy's done some stuff. So he tells me, you got a week. And I said, you know what? I'll give you a week. I told my wife, I said, I think I'm going home. I'm not going to learn 50 songs in a week, like numbers.
Yeah.
Bro, I came home. We had those 2 shows and those were the only 2 shows in the United States that we did. They were in Vegas. And then we had a week off. So they flew me home for that week. And bro, I had my wife. I felt like I was back in school.
Yeah.
Having my friends
quizzing you and all that. Yeah.
And I would say, she would give me the name of the title of the song and I would say the number. Yep. And bro, like that for a week.
Wow.
For a week. Went back and then he came back. He looked at me. He goes, "You ready?" And he would name a tune. I'm like, "Yeah." Now, no list, no nothing. He gave him a tune, punch it in Q. He gave him a tune, punch it in Q. He goes, "Okay."
Now your wife has
Gordito's got it, bro.
But your wife is not musically inclined at all, right?
No, she's not. And which I love because there's no fight.
Exactly. I love that too.
Musicians, there's no fight because I've been there.
Right.
Where, and I've seen other people that, and not to knock if it works for you, it works for you, but I've also seen the bad side of that where you start to bump heads a lot because, one is working more than the other and one wants to jump on the gig with the other one and it's like, hey, you can't do that.
Right.
Exactly.
And so I love the fact that my wife has nothing to do with music and she's seen me play enough.
What does she do?
My wife works for Verizon Wireless. She's a customer tech rep, so she's
Awesome.
home all day.
Shout out to her.
Yeah.
And she gets to be home with the kids.
And she gets to be home. Well,
That's
not
awesome.
with the kids all day. That's my job. And she works. But,
Exactly.
but she's not musically inclined, which I love. So then there's no fight.
Right.
When I say that something's bad, she's like, okay.
I completely get that because Danny will be practicing and doing certain things and he'll be like, "Oh, I just messed up." I'm like, "You did?" Because that really sounded good to me. Like, what are you talking about? You messed up.
And
like it all flowed.
And she's also my support in the sense when Demiola came out with the record Babylon, or that tune, and we put it in the tour. When I first heard it for the first time, I told my wife, I said, "I'm going to get fired off this gig. I can't play this song. No matter how much time I hear it, I can't learn it." And she goes, "Babe, you're just overwhelmed. Just take a step back, listen to it again." And it took me about a week and just her telling me, "Hey, just keep listening to it. Just forget about all the distractions." And I kid you not, just her telling me that was enough for me to be like, okay. And I grabbed the song. And then I sat down with Gumbi like, "Hey, what is your process with it?" Gumbi goes, "Bro, just play the damn song."
Exactly.
It'll
just
come.
feel it, bro. Just feel it.
And that's when, that came out that way. So I've been fortunate that, like I said, that gets the best out of me because I want to perform at my highest.
Right.
But at the same time, it shows you that I'm human.
Exactly. Exactly.
That I'm still a human being and I still have
no
my
one is
flaws
perfect.
And I'm going to mess up. And one thing that Al's always taught me, and he's taught everybody in the band, if you're going to mess up, make it loud. If you're going to hit a note that doesn't belong, make it loud. Make it count. Don't sneak it in.
Okay.
Don't sneak it, just make it loud.
Exactly.
Because
So
you're
let me
going to
ask
remember
you.
it.
Oh, yeah.
So let me ask you.
Won't do it
Born
again.
in Jersey. Your parents were born up north also.
Yep.
Do you speak
Oh, yes, I
fluid?
do. Very fluid.
You do?
Yeah, because I was born in a Spanish church.
Okay.
So
now
that's
your
what we
wife
did.
is not Spanish.
Yes, she is. She's from Nicaragua.
Oh, okay.
Well,
so
her family's from Nicaragua. She's from Jersey.
Yeah.
And she speaks
But she
fluent
speaks
too.
fluent too.
Yeah. So we
So do
speak
your
to our
kids-
kids. Yep.
Okay.
Now,
That's what I was going to ask.
they understand it. Do they want to speak it?
No.
Nope.
No. Just like my son
Yeah.
is the same way.
It's like I can't get my daughter to speak in Spanish for
Really?
nothing in the world, but she understands it.
Yeah.
Okay.
My 4-year-old does too. The only one that repeats anything in Spanish is my 2-year-old. She repeats everything in Spanish because she thinks it's funny.
Exactly.
So I'm like, but I told my daughters, I said, hey, learn how to speak a second language. It's good for you.
You'll make more money too.
And she understands it, but she won't speak it. But,
Oh, yeah. I get that.
But that's also the system that we live in. We're mainly around, like church, American church. It's not Spanish. It's not bilingual.
Right.
So, and then family that comes over, everything's in English. The only one that speaks to her in Spanish is grandma.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I get it. School, English, it's like everything's English.
Oh yeah.
Well, and that's it. We have 3 kids, so my 2 didn't know Spanish anything until I was with Danny. Yeah. His son grew up Spanish in all 3 homes.
Yeah.
Will he speak it? No. Is he learning it now? Yes. Finally, at 12 years old, he's learning it. And my son at 11 years old.
He's been understanding for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he'll understand, but then he'll try to be like, I don't know what that is, or you know, he'll say,
No, I can't do that. My daughter understands it perfectly.
But Christopher, who's 11, he decided this year for 7th grade he had to take a Spanish course. He's going to take a Spanish course. So I heard him actually talking to Elijah this morning saying, yeah, the good thing is we have Abuelo that he can also teach us too. Not just Danny.
So here's the problem though, because I thought I was slick by taking a Spanish class, a language class in high school. And it was Spanish. I was like, oh, I'm going to ace this.
Yeah,
it's Spaniard Spanish.
Exactly.
I'm like, what the hell is this? We don't say that in my house.
This is not real Spanish.
Yes, but that's it. That's it. They do. It's a very different Spanish.
I barely passed that class with being a Puerto Rican kid.
Yeah.
And everybody's looking at me like, oh man, Lewis is going to give us all the answers. I'm like, what the hell I'm reading?
It is. It's crazy. But yeah, Christopher was so excited because early this morning, him and Elijah were talking about it. And Elijah has started to learn more and more and is accepting it more and more. And Christopher had said, well, I took the course for 7th grade because I figured I need to learn it. Right. And I've got Papi, which is Danny, to help me. But Abuelo will help me too. So I'm going to learn it now.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I'm just afraid that my dad is just going to be like, okay, first word, coño.
But that's my goal too. My goal too is now I have to learn it because there are certain things after 7 years together, I understand some of it.
It's a good,
but I can't hold a conversation.
It's a good thing to have. There's nothing wrong with speaking another language, even if you don't. I have a friend of mine, believe it or not, a coworker that I used to work with, Darcy, who's gringa all the way. Her parents are gringas all the way. This girl, you would swear she was Spanish by the way she talks because she married a Puerto Rican man.
Also, she had that accent.
So no accent. I swore she was Puerto Rican.
Wow.
And when I found out she was white, like she's American.
So if I learn it really well, that's what they'll say about me.
Yeah, you're still not going to learn it.
Oh, you just
I don't want her to learn Spanish.
She's been learning Spanish, bro, since she was like 13. And she's my age, so she's got it down.
Wow, I'm way behind.
She's got it down, so it's easy for her. So, and she understands it, writes it, talks it.
I'm way behind.
Yeah. But I don't want you to learn it though.
Yeah.
I don't want you to learn Spanish. Then I won't be able to talk shit about you.
Yeah, but then I can talk to my sister-in-laws and my nieces a lot better.
That's all right.
It's all right. They speak English very well.
I know, but you know what? Sometimes that Spanish comes in handy, especially when they're texting us and saying things like...
No, well, yeah, that's true. Because we have a family chat.
Listen, like I said.
She can't understand half of what they say.
Some of it I understand, some of it I don't.
What are all these words? Like,
it's all Spanglish.
Some of it I get, some of it I don't. But oh my God, if I could understand it...
Oh yeah, you'll be...
It'll be way better.
Yeah. You can actually chime in every once in a while. Huh?
Right. So
I chime in my English version.
There you go.
So, I know that obviously you're a musician, but other than being a musician, you're also a teacher.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit of the stories of these kids that you have taught, because I saw a video of you and, I forgot which studio it was at that you actually posted the video of the kid that you taught and
what got
from
you
scratch.
Into that?
Yeah.
The teaching part.
Well, you know, it's funny because for a kid that's never been taught, it's really hard to teach what I do.
Right.
Because I've never been taught. I'm self-taught. You know, I've never taken a class and anything like that.
A majority of the people we talk to have been that way.
You know, and I've even been teaching myself how to read music. I'm not fluent in reading, but I can determine and look at a paper and be like, okay, I know what this is and that is. It takes me a minute, but I can get it. So with my students, it's hard because I have to reach them at a different level, meaning I have to break stuff down a little bit simpler. Because for me, I kid you not, I know I have a gift and I can hear something and pick it up in a matter of a second, you know, and play the rhythm. I hear guys, you know, on a radio or on a record. I'm like, oh, I know what he's doing. And I follow it and I listen to it. I've been good with that. I've trained myself to do that. So for me to teach sometimes is a little bit harder. So I have to become creative, in certain things. So when I teach my kids, I make them say names of different. So if we're gonna go triplet, instead of triplet, make up a name of a food or something like that. So like banana, which is triplet, banana, or apples for two quarter notes.
Man, that's genius.
And
that's awesome.
And I've learned that from other teachers that do it with little kids.
Gotcha.
So I started implementing the same thing. So what I do is I break it down to where, okay, so we got a measure of 4. And in the measure, we got to try to play 1 quarter note, 1 half note, a triplet, and a 16th. And it gives them a fundamental of how many beats are going to go into that measure. So it's going to be like a quarter note, 8th note, taka, 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 and I have them doing all these rudiments around the kit. So once they get that concept, it's a little bit easier for them, and then everything is hand coordination. I don't even incorporate the feet yet because I know just the feet and the hand, the coordination is a little bit different, especially for a 5-6-year-old.
What's the age range that you normally teach?
Anywhere, bro. My youngest was 4.
Wow.
And it's hard because.
So is this music teacher or in school?
Private school.
Private school. Okay.
So, because I own a studio with my friend Chris Bonafé.
I didn't realize you owned a studio too. Okay.
We have a studio where I'm partners with, and we also have the B Pro Arts Academy. And that's what we teach. So we have everything from piano, bass, guitar. I think we have a string teacher as well.
Wow.
And so,
That's badass.
Is this in Tampa?
In Tampa. So, 2020 hit with everybody. And so we ended up closing our facility because a lot of kids weren't coming back.
Yeah.
So we ended up putting everything back in the studio and then taking classes from the studio. So now we had a building, we had an office where we had 5 or 6 rooms. We can give classes all at the same time. Now it's a little bit different because of COVID, and now we got to have the 6 feet and blah, blah, blah. So now we just give 1 class at a time, maybe 2 classes at a time in the studio.
But at least you're still
we're still able, and I haven't stopped playing.
Yeah.
For people who see me, and they know who I am, I haven't stopped playing.
Right. I mean,
things been busy for me, and it's been great. So, knock on wood, that it stays that way.
Absolutely.
But it's the teaching part for me has been great because it's great, and at the same time has been a slap in the face because nowadays, because technology is everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I mean, everywhere. To the point that everybody thinks it's a download. Like you take 1 class and all of a sudden,
or why can this guy teach me that YouTube can't? You know
right?
What I mean? Yeah.
No, but I get kids that come up to me and they're like, after my first class, oh, I could do that. Oh, I could do that. Do it. And then I hear them like, no, you can't.
No, exactly.
You have to go through the steps first. No, but I can do this. I want to go there. Doesn't work that way.
Exactly.
So it kind of frustrates me to the point that it's like, I don't like taking people's money because I can sit there and be like, play all day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And just take your mama's money.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to do because then it's like, I'm doing that, taking their money, but then I'm losing out on time with my family.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
That's how I see things. So the teaching part to me, I take it very seriously because, I wish I had a teacher. I wish I had a mentor when I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish my dad would have forced me. The thing was that since I was already playing, my dad only saw, hey man, I got a drummer, but I wish I would have had somebody that said, hey, you know what? He's young. Put him in a class. Put him in this. Put him in that.
Absolutely.
But because I was so hyped up of wanting to play, that never interested. It was never an interest to me. And now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, I regret it. Right. So every time I talk to a kid or they're looking for, it's like, look for a mentor. People don't understand. When I met Goombi, and I use him as my reference because he's my mentor.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I met Goombi, it was, I want to say 2008, 2009. And when I met him, it was through Butch Thomas. Butch, I had already met Butch, and I was playing with Butch for a while. And we met at a show that he came to watch us play. And I remember that after that show, I went to his studio in St. Pete, and we jammed for a little bit. And he didn't play congas. He played piano. He was sitting behind the piano playing piano. Wow. He was playing drums. He looked at me, okay. He goes, hey, man, I'm playing every Friday night in Ceviches. I play every Friday night in Ceviches. So I'm like, okay, bro, every Friday night for months, I went to Ceviches, sat down at the place, watched those guys play, didn't get up. Once they were done playing, helped them pack up, bring stuff back to the car.
Of course.
And that's why I'm saying I'm one of the ones from the last era of that.
Yeah.
Because I was always taught that, you know what, you want to find good guys, you got to hang around that crowd.
Exactly.
And you got to be that. Bro, I did that for months. And
my
wife didn't understand that. Nobody understood why I was going. Bro, I never sat in drums. Never. And they would ask me, like, Johnny Z at the time was like, bro, sit in. I'm like, nope.
No. Thank you.
That's not what I want. I just wanted a vibe, And then eventually I became, now, you know what's the first thing I played with Negro City? With the Latino project, that's what they were called, was conga.
Really?
Because Goombi at that point caught a cramp on his arm. And I was standing there. He goes, sit down. And I sat down and I started to play while he went over there, got his arm thing.
Yeah.
When he came back, I went to get up. He goes, nah, bro, finish the set. I'm like, really?
Wow.
And that's how I started with the band. Not even playing drums, bro, playing conga.
That's badass, dude.
So I'm like,
That's
bro,
badass.
I'm sitting in for one of the best percussionists in the damn world. And I'm like, really? I don't deserve this chair.
Yeah.
And that's how I got there. So with Goombi, it was like, he goes, I want to produce a new record for the band. And I'm like, okay. So he goes, I'm going to have you on half the record and Johnny on the other half.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Bro, we couldn't come to terms to record the drums. Or every time he called, because I was still working, every time he called me, he goes, bro, I can't go to St. Pete
Exactly.
for a day because I'm working. So then I go, look, I have a setup in my house. Why don't you just let me record a song and let's see what happens. If you don't like it, then I'll go over there. He goes, okay. And then, bro, he sends me the track that's on the record of Negro City. It's called Camina. And it was just a demo track. And I have a solo in that tune.
Nice.
And he goes, and I go, bro, this is just a demo track or whatever. That's the track that stood on the record.
Wow.
He never fixed it. He just left it like that. And I'm like, bro, no, we got to fix it. He goes, it stays. And that's when he made the hard realization that he goes, I can't keep Johnny anymore.
Yeah.
Because now the band sounds totally different. So then they took Johnny and they told him that he couldn't play anymore. It was the hardest decision for Goombi to make was that.
Yeah.
To get rid of a guy that's been playing with him for a long time.
Of course. And it's a brother too.
He changed the name from Latino Project to Negro City.
Yeah.
And then we cut the rest of the album and the rest is history, man. With Goombi, he's been my mentor.
Oh.
Shout out to Goombi. Yeah, he's amazing.
So can I ask one thing also along this line?
Yeah.
Did you guys only meet and play the one time together?
Yes.
So that was it?
Yes.
That one time?
So that one time at Sky was that it was Alma Vertical show.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm one of the original drummers for Alma Vertical.
Oh.
Yep.
Before me, it was Jonathan Thomas. Mm-hmm. When Jonathan Thomas left, you're talking about, man, this was when I first got here, like in 2005.
Yeah.
That I started playing with them. And we were just on and off. It was just because I started playing with so many people and things just didn't work out the way they wanted to. But Omar calls me. He goes, bro, I got a show it was a Sunday too. Yeah. He goes, I got a show and we're going to be opening up for this band Hope Darling. I'm like, okay, so what do I have to bring? He goes, no, the guy Daniel who's going to have all the set there. You just show up. If you want, bring your cymbals and whatever, blah, blah. So I showed up and I'm like, okay.
And you were early.
I was early, like always. And Daniel's like, yeah, man, feel free to use the set, do whatever. All I remember is that that night that we played, Danny was hovering over me.
Yeah.
like a bee.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I look back, there was a camera.
Yep.
And just like all over me. I'm like,
I still got those videos,
like,
bro.
Man, who is this guy? And I'm just playing and he's like, dude, what the hell? What the hell did you just do? Like, you left. He's looking at me like really?
I'm like, dude, I don't even want to. I just quit. I quit playing drums. I don't want to play after you. It was the
funniest thing in the world because it was like he was just sitting there, and from the get, I'm not a guy. My typical thing is that I just don't give away what I do. Right. I sit behind the drums. I feel him. I'm okay. First tune comes out and we start playing. All I see was he was standing behind there. It's like a little booth in the back. And all I see is the head come out.
Is that my drum set?
And he's running up. He starts with the camera. And I'm like, and it was the funniest thing. But I get that reaction a lot. And it's just because when I go, I'm just a ball of energy when I play. Especially with Goombi. When you see me and Goombi go in it, it's just like, bless you.
Bless you.
It's just like...
pollen's coming out.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's a freight train.
I know.
It's a freight train.
No, it's crazy, dude.
So when we play together...
It's just... What gave me the most pleasure on seeing you was the fact of the way you move around the kit and how smooth and clean it looks. And
in my head, it sounds like a bunch of sticks.
Exactly.
So have your children seen you play live yet? Besides the church?
Yeah, they see me.
Just
play.
the church, though?
No, they've seen me play.
Oh,
live.
they have.
They've seen me play in concerts and stuff like that. Yeah, because every time there's a festival and I can take them with me, they come.
That's awesome.
And at home, I play every day at home.
That's amazing.
It doesn't stop.
That's amazing.
It's just one of those things where there's a set at home. And they get to bang on it just like as much as I do.
Oh yeah.
So
I bet your wife loves that. Yeah. She's used to it by now, probably.
Because you guys have been together now, what, 17
years?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So it's one of those things where, I love the fact that I do music, but I also love the fact that my kids can enjoy it. Now, I don't push it on them.
So
no, you can't.
So now, so far, your little one is 12? Have any of them started?
She was taking piano. Yeah, she was taking piano classes, and she's interested. She sings a lot.
Okay.
She sings all the time. She's forever singing.
Nice.
One thing that I do know that my daughter has, and I know I have, it's a rare thing. The only way I can explain it is that people show me a song, and while the song is going, it's a new song. But I can sing the melody along and know where the melody is going.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, you can actually hear where it's gonna go before it goes.
Sing it.
Exactly.
And people are like, how do you know the song? I was like, I don't. I just have that intuition.
And she's the same.
She's the same, but she does it with words.
Wow.
She knows where the words are coming in and she starts singing the words, right? And I'm like, I was listening to her in the car and the song she's never heard. I'm like, Kitty, you know that song? She goes, no. And she was singing the words along, and I'm like, okay. So she has that. So, but the thing is, I don't want to push the music on them.
Yeah.
I want them to be
an organic love.
Organic thing.
An organic love, yeah.
Because right now her love organically is lizards. That's what she likes. She's got a cage.
Wait, like outdoor lizards or bearded dragons?
Let me tell you something. She'll grab a lizard from outside and she'll train it. And
really?
They sit up on her. They sit up on her chest. They go up to her shirt. And when they want to go back, she puts them in. And it's weird. And they're outside lizards.
Wow.
Bro, she has
Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, dude, it's something weird. And she loves it. So she'll catch them. She'll feed them. I got her a fish tank, put some moss in it, and she's got everything. And she's got them trained. And you can tell when they change colors on her.
That's crazy.
When they turn green, they change colors on her. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, right? That's another gift right there.
Okay, so, so I leave her alone because I'm like, I want her to be, and I want them to
find herself, yes.
Yeah, I don't want them to force. Like, music wasn't forced on me.
Yeah.
It really wasn't. I've just played. What was forced on me was, you got to play with me.
Exactly.
that was forced on me. No, you have to.
And this circle and this circle only. Yeah,
and that's it. So that was forced on me.
It almost sounds like being on a record label.
Well, so currently now, you play at the church.
GFC, yeah.
Yep. And what else do you do constantly?
Oh, there's a couple things. The Jeremy Carter Band, which is Rubber Band, which is a jazz fusion.
And where do you play?
We just finished filming which released yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before at the Palladium?
Wow.
Nice.
Ooh.
That came out. That came out on the show. I currently play a lot with Dariel Kafkasko, which is a guitar player, flamenco.
Yes, I've seen a lot of those videos.
So is it a duo type thing?
Yes, a duo type thing. And we're usually every other Saturday at Hotel Haya.
Now, where is that?
That's in Ybor.
Oh, okay.
On 7th and
what time?
From 9 to 11.
9 to 11. Okay.
So we played last night. So we'll play the second.
Every other.
And then, every other Friday. So this coming up Friday, I'm at Donatello's.
Really?
With Kelly Metling and Michael Scaglione.
Wow.
And where is that? Tampa as well?
It's Tampa, and that's from.
Is that a restaurant?
Yes.
That's an Italian restaurant, right?
It's an Italian steakhouse.
Donatello's.
Yep.
We've heard of that.
Yeah,
we've got to go there.
I think my dad
nice
was
vibe.
telling us about
It's
it.
a nice vibe, and we play there from 7:30 to 11:30, and that's every other Friday. If I'm not there, then I'm usually at Clearwater at there's a Pour Yours in downtown.
Oh, okay.
So we're there. So I pretty much stay busy. If I'm not there, I'm with Jam Jones,
Nice.
another local band.
Because you said you're doing this full time, so this is...
So everything that comes in, I pick up and I go.
Yeah.
So, cause right now there's not one band that's playing 4 or 5 times a week.
Exactly.
No.
That's not happening.
Exactly.
No.
Because
Not
right now
anymore.
they're trying to spread the wealth. The problem is that...
And they're doing a lot of the duos,
spreading the wealth. I get called a lot because I still can play.
Unless you play for the
kid.
Black Honkies.
Well, that's another switch they play. They're playing tonight.
I know, it's crazy.
Are they?
Man. Yeah, they're playing tonight.
Where?
They're
Do you know where at?
I have no idea. I know it was from 2:30, I think to 2:30 to 5:30, something like that.
Oh.
So they're almost done.
Yeah.
But those guys, shout out to them. To Phil and all those guys. Much
Brother
respect.
Phil.
Yeah, Brother Phil is amazing.
That's the only band that probably would do that. But even right now, as big as that band is, they can't. Right, not with COVID. They can't play 5-6 nights a week.
Exactly.
Because there's too big of a band.
Yep.
They gotta do bigger
There's way
venues.
too many of them.
Yeah. So now with Dariel or another duo, I got called even last night I was getting called, hey man, I need a cajon player.
I know, right?
I'm booked. So, and I don't like saying no to people because people think I'm saying no because I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't want to, it's that most of the time I'm booked.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that I'm the best at what I do, but they know that I'm reliable. When a last minute call, I'm going to come prepared no matter what.
Exactly. You're ready to go.
And I have the equipment to play any venue.
Exactly.
Like shout out to my Toca family.
Yeah.
One of my endorsements. And, I have a suitcase drum set just like I have cajon.
The kickbox, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm about to get one. I'm about to get, we were just talking about it, right?
It's badass, bro. That thing fits in my trunk. And I bought the Yamaha light hardware with that.
Yeah.
So I pair it up with that, bro. And I'm talking about 2-3 bags at most.
Really?
Yeah, man, because the snare and the tom folds inside.
Exactly.
The pedal goes inside too. So you have all that in one suitcase. Then you can carry a bag with maybe a hi-hat stand and 2 cymbal stands or whatever, and that's it.
Oh,
and you're thrown, bro.
Man.
And when you mic up that kit, bro. Mic up that kit.
Did you change any of the heads?
No, it's still stock. I haven't done nothing. I haven't broken anything.
Really?
Yet. Yeah. Everything's stocked. I haven't changed nothing. Those are all Remo heads too.
Really?
Yeah. Those are all Remo. If I'm not mistaken, they're Emperors.
Yeah.
Oh, so you know where the Black Honkies are tonight?
Where?
Bogota Kitchen and Bar.
All right. Well,
Palm Harbor.
Shout out to Black Honkies.
There you go.
2:30 to 5 p.m.
No.
The Bogota and Palm Harbor.
Gotcha. But this is going to be aired on Friday, so that will be already too late.
Yeah, sorry. You missed the show.
But
yeah,
I love that Talk Up Percussion. I've seen all of your videos that you have played with it, bro, and it always sounds phenomenal. Obviously, you're playing, but the kit sounds amazing.
Yeah, man.
It really, really, really does.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, I've gotten really good at, not great, but I've gotten really good at getting my sound at home and recording myself and, mixing it down myself. And it's been a process. 2020 has been a process for me where I've learned how to do a couple things there. I've learned how to do a couple things with videos. And, one thing that I did, and I've been telling people, if you didn't grow anything in 2020, you just wasted your year.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You really wasted your
Highly
year.
agree with that.
Yeah.
So I was aware of talents that I had hidden,
Mm-hmm.
And you brought them to
and
life.
I brought them to light when I had more time. I'm like, oh man, I got this program. Why am I not using this program? Oh, I got this. Why am I not using this?
What DAW are you using?
Logic.
Yeah. We use Studio One 4
I have
here.
it too.
Yeah.
I have it too.
I love Studio.
And I've had Studio One forever since it first came out, and I have no problem with them.
Yeah.
But the Logic has become almost like Pro Tools, like an industry standard.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys that I've been working with, like Philippe and those guys,
They only have Logic formats.
So when he sends me a track,
you need to have Logic.
No, when he sends me a track, believe it or not, when I import the track in Logic, it tells me, because he's labeled already all the markers. So even that wave comes with all the markers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Studio One doesn't do that. It sends you a stem. So Logic recognizes that stem is from Logic, and it picks up all the information that comes with it. So I can see, okay, this is a verse, this is a chorus. I don't have to figure stuff out.
Yeah.
So, because when I'm recording, I have a remote control.
Exactly.
I use my iPad, and my iPad will tell me what's coming up next. So then I'm just playing, kind of like reading a chart. Okay, this is what's coming up next, and I just play that part.
Exactly.
So it becomes easier for me to play. So Logic, and it took me a little bit to learn how to use it, because Logic is not as friendly as Studio One. Studio One is very user friendly. It's very hands on.
Versatile,
But Logic, it's just got some features that Studio One doesn't have that I fell in love with. So I go back and forth.
See, I graduated from Full Sail, and it was we studied Pro Tools.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until 3 years ago that I started with Studio One.
Yeah.
And because, I've been getting very familiar with the PreSonus boards and stuff like that. So I loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it was very basic.
Exactly.
You didn't have to know a lot of knowledge or have a lot of knowledge to run a DAW.
Yeah.
Which that's what I loved about them.
Yeah, for sure.
And now with Sapphire, it's even better because now you got coaches all the time.
Exactly.
So I have them, and I stay up to date with them. But Logic to me just gives me this different sound in my drums. It's like, oh wow.
Okay.
It has a little bit more warmer tone and not so much digital.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It's not
That's
so much
awesome.
a digital tone.
That's badass.
So, when you hear my drums now, it's like, oh, wait a minute, it's a little bit different.
So where's your next show that's coming up?
My next show, let's see.
After Friday.
Why? What's Friday?
The launch of this
would air
we're airing this on Friday.
Yes, but I'm talking about his next musical performance.
So on
his next
Friday,
show.
It will be this Friday at Donatello's.
Oh, okay.
Right, so we'll be there. And then we have Monday night, which it'll air the following Monday. So the 29th, it'll be the New Groove City.
Oh, nice.
But we're doing I don't know if the Jazz Hour.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing the Jazz
I heard
Hour
about that, yes.
So that'll air the following week as they pre-record everything.
Sweet.
But then my next show would be Jam Jones on April 2nd at Eulaley's.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Ukuleles.
No, there's ukuleles and
ukuleles.
Ukuleles is in Land O'Lakes.
Land O'Lakes.
Yes.
Oh.
Ukuleles going to be in Land O'Lakes.
That'll be from 7:30 to 10:30.
I'll send my in-laws to you.
Yeah, they live in Land O'Lakes.
And so the thing is that I'm not playing that full show because I have a show previous to that. So I'm just going to show up and I have a drummer there. I'll end up playing maybe the second set or something like that. I don't want to take away from that. But then, those are the next biggest things. And then the next biggest event, we're playing with New Groove City April 17th. And that's at the Strass Center.
Oh, nice.
So are you playing outside on the walkway or inside?
It's supposed to be outside.
Okay.
But
on the walkway, so anybody that can come.
Mm-hmm. So
I think that's the same concert series that Frankie Ray was playing at too.
So, but the thing is that they're turning it into a different thing. So it's like during the day, it's a clinic. So me and Goombie are giving a clinic.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be sick.
That's awesome.
So we're doing a clinic for them. And so we're promoting LP, promoting Toca, which
nice.
That's
the two biggest brands.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and then, the night we have the whole band with New Groove City. So we'll have Butch Thomas, Aaron Ferre, Goombie Ortiz, Kenny Walker, myself, and we might have a singer or two. We don't know yet.
And you said ukuleles is the 2nd?
That's
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
Okay.
Yep. So that's then. And then from here on, I still do the Haya every other Saturday, and it changes because when people call me, I do get I look at my calendar sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'm free. Then the next day is
nope.
I'm not.
I'm not anymore.
And April, there's also I have that I'm playing in Sarasota with a gentleman by the name of Johnny Rawls.
Nice.
And that's April 1st. And that's in the Blue Rooster.
Oh,
Sarasota.
Okay.
And that's he plays all blues. So Johnny, I met Johnny. I played with him I think it was November of last year. Mm-hmm. And never played with him. I mean, he's a nationally known artist.
Yeah.
And I got the gig from a bass player, Michael Dempsey. Michael called me, hey, bro, it's an easy peasy gig. You can't tell me easy peasy.
Exactly.
Because then I start to freak out. So I went and downloaded every album that this guy had. And I'm like, okay, it's pretty simple, but I've never played, no rehearsal, no nothing. He starts off the songs and I'm right behind him.
That's awesome.
By the second song of this show, he turns around and he goes, you're a bad dude. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, am I bad in a good way? And then Mike was like, bro, you're good. You know, so I get to play with Johnny when he comes down, you know, and he's coming to the Blue Rooster. He's like, hey, dude, you're my guy. Can you make this show? I was like, for sure. So, you know, I get called a lot and it gets busy
and that's
quick.
Awesome.
It gets busy
and
quick,
I know there's some other stuff coming up that you can't talk about just yet.
Yeah,
but
man. Oh,
you need to keep us posted so we can announce it on Social Banter Podcast.
Yes.
So please, when all that gets announced,
there's a couple of good.
Send us a message, send us a text, let us know so we can announce it on there also. So everybody that's listening to this,
blast you on the Social Banter
so
Podcast
everybody
pages.
that's listening to this can hear about it and know what's going on.
It's a good thing coming for me. It's a long awaited thing coming for me, which has been a long time coming, and I'm happy. I'm also happy for the companies that are joining in on this. It's going to be good.
That's going to be pretty safe. So, one more time, just give the public all your
social
links,
media,
all your social medias where they can follow you.
At Luis Antonio Alicea, Facebook.com. Also Luis Alicea official at Instagram.
Spell that out for them though, because I know we talked about this. A lot of people think it's different.
LuisAlicea official at Instagram. And just like that on Facebook, you can find me on my YouTube channel is also Luis Alicea. Everything is Luis Alicea. You can't go wrong. It's always there. It pops up. And look for me on records such as the Alan Carmen Project, the Al Di Meola 40th anniversary tour. That's recorded live. That's on record.
Sick.
You know, New Groove City, those albums like that, man, I'm on.
And the new projects that are coming up, we'll put it out there for you as well as soon as you let us know when we can release it.
Yes. There's a lot of new things coming out, and which I'm proud of and happy to be a part of. And, you know, just thank God that I'm able to do what I do and play with the people that I play with and be around the network that I am with. You know, and thank you guys for having me and letting me share a little bit.
Thank you for joining us on this
thank you so much.
Of what I do,
yeah, for sure. And I'm sure we'll have you back again, and
sure, man.
We'll do some updates on you and stuff like that. And let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors real quick as well. HK Floor Recoating.
You
thank
can't
you
talk
so
today.
much. I know I can't.
HK Floor Recoating.
Thank you guys so much.
They will bring your hardwood floors back to a shine amazingly.
It's amazing. Yes. Legendary LTD, any tattoo, all the tattoo and Sparrow tattoo apparel inspired. Oh man.
I'm going to do this now.
I'm going to have to keep practicing my ad libs here, my ad reads.
Legendary screen printing, legendary tattoos, legendary LTD, Raul Sanchez, graphic plus design, and do the last one for me, Congru.
No, baby. Congruo. Congruo.com. That's a Puerto Rican one.
I love you, my father-in-law, Papo.
Yes. Thank you again, Luis.
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it. Shout out to your family. God bless you guys. And I think we're out.
Cheers, baby.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Have a good one.
Salute.
Here we go. And, wait, babe. Before we close it out, I don't want to close it out. We should have our guests close it out for us.
Absolutely.
How about you,
introduce your song and Social Banter Podcast.
Well, it's not my song, but it's the Alan Carmen Project.
You were in the song.
But you're in the song.
I had the pleasure to record this record. So shout out to Alan Carmen and the rest of the crew. And for your listening pleasure, Carmenology.